this tutorial, we're going to cover we're going to establish some use zones in our new work area. So I'm going to just focus on this area over here and create some use zones that we can use. So it will drive our town planning scheme. So like residential, commercial, that kind of work zone. Okay, so generally what you're going to try and do is you're going to try, each road has a road reserve, so you're going to try and establish a zone outside of the road reserve. Okay, the first thing that I'm going to do is switch off my study area. I just want my roads. Okay, the next thing I want to do is go and create a temporary layer. So it's a layer that it's a temporary layer which you can delete once you're done. Okay, so once you've got this kind of going, select what type of geometries, because you can have multiple lines in it, so it's going to be a multi-line string, a multi-curve. I'm going to give this a use zone outline, give it a name, just that you can work with. This is a temporary layer, so it will be deleted, so you can call it temp or TMP, for example. Make sure that you've matched the coordinate system that you're using. That's very important, and you're not going to include Z dimensions in that. It's not important. So we're going to press OK. So once this has been established, I like to move it in the right area. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start focusing on tracing some of these objects. So with my use zone active and my edit tool, so you can just make sure that you're going to start editing the shapefile now, and it'll tell you that it's a temporary file over here. Okay. All right. So that's important. When it gives you the symbol, it means it's a temporary scratch file. Okay, now that I've got this all set up, what I can do is I'm going to change this to maybe my snapping. There's certain units that you can use. You can change your snapping, for example, to meters. I like to work with a meter or 5 meters. I'm going to stick to a meter for the moment because I want a bit more accuracy. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start creating a series of features. Okay, so I'm going to go to create feature, and I'm going to make sure that my follow tool's on. So this follow tool, and I'm going to give it the road reserve will be 20 meters. So it's from the center line of the roads, for example. Okay, so I'm going to start over here, and you see it produces a red line, which is what I'm wanting. So I want to start tracing this bit of line work. Okay, so here I might have to come a bit higher, come around to this side. Sometimes it doesn't quite want to work right. Okay, I have noticed that. Okay, so this one I might have to bring to here. Let's see if it'll force it. No, it won't. Okay, so if that happens, just in the command, I'll show you how you can join two pieces again. So you can start the command again. Okay, so that's working for me. Yeah, try and snap in the middle. Let's see how this will work going down here. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. So I'll snap there again. Come to the end of the road. Let's see if it'll follow here. So it'll follow this quite well. Go to here, and then I'll end the command over here. Okay, so I've got 2 bits of line work. I might have to introduce one more over here because I'll need to trim these bits of line work. Okay, just remember these are different features. So if I click on this one, what I need to do very quickly, select all of them quickly, and I'm going to combine them. So here you're going to merge selected features into one feature. You want them to be part of one feature. Okay, so each shape needs to be its own feature. Okay, so what I need to do now is I need to trim. I'll need to merge these together and get rid of all the inaccuracies very quickly. So I'm going to use my trim tool. So I'm going to trim that to there and trim that to there. Okay, so select that line and that line. I'm going to trim that line to that line and trim that line to that line. Okay, that sorts that out, and then I'm going to trim this one to that line there and trim that line back to there. Okay, all right, so that's great. I've got a nice closed object. Okay, the next thing I want to do is just make sure that I want to make sure that these are all part of the one. I don't have to add any more parts or anything, for example. Okay, so I'm going to select the object again, or deselect the object. So if I click on this object, the next thing I want to do is I want to simplify the shape. So if I click on this line again, So here I want to simplify, and it's going to use my distance. So what it does is it weeds out points that are unnecessary. You can see it's got 44, but if I press OK, it will simplify the shape correctly to follow, which is what I want. Okay, so that's great. I've got my first feature in place. Okay, here I can go and change the way this looks very quickly, just so that it's more. So maybe for this, I want to see this in a red color, just so it's more, or like a nice dark blue, for example. Okay, just so that it's more visible, just to get it nice and dark. Yeah, that will work for me. Press apply, press OK. Okay, so there's one. So I'm going to start creating a series of these very quickly. So once again, you see this is working pretty well. It might cause a problem when you come to this line here because it's trying to jump to the outside. I had this problem earlier, so I'm going to start from this side and follow. So it's the direction in which the line was originally drawn. Okay, so here I'm going to go up to here. Yeah, see this one is this is problematic, this one. So I'll end this command here and then drag this line again. Just hover on the line itself. Yep, and I'm going to come to this side. There we go. Okay, those I'll have to join as well. So again, trim that with that, and that with that, trim that with that, and trim that with that, trim that with that, trim that. So click that one to that one. Okay, once again, make sure they need to be part of the same feature. So select both of them, and you're going to use this merge features tool. Okay, so it becomes one feature. That's very important. So now that is one feature, I'm going to go and say simplify, and I'm just going to select the line work, and you can see it was 13. I press OK. There, it simplified the shape for me. Okay, all right, great. So now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly run through this very quickly, how I would go and create the rest of these. Okay, so let's go in this direction. Yeah, this one's working a bit better. Click there. And let's go in this direction maybe. Let's go here. So click on the line, go in this direction. Okay, these don't all want to work the same way, so let me just try this again. Start over here, click here, yeah, click here, click here. Don't worry about those little undo. So just press escape. Sometimes it does cause a bit of trouble, so hover on this line, continue, click there, click there, click there. Yeah, that's working now. Click there. Okay, finish command. Just use your trim tool. So trim that to that, and trim that to that. Okay, great. Select the object again. We'll come and weed those out so I can just continue making these shapes. That's fine, just use your trim tool. Okay, again, create the shapes. I'll come and I'll fine tune them all in a minute as well. So this I'll stop there. I'll just use my trim tool again. What's neat with this command, it's always working. Alright, so see, we can see we're starting to get our basic shapes in place. So, and then we can use this to drive a polygon a bit later. Okay. Right, so yeah, just make sure there's no little things that are not working well. So I'm going to start creating more of these shapes quickly. So I'm going to start probably over here in the middle somewhere. So sometimes it doesn't hover on that line correctly. So you're going to hover or go in this direction. Yeah. Click there. Click in the middle. So this one will work quite well. Click in the middle. Click in the middle. It's starting to understand how the shape works. Yeah, so this will work. Let's see how well this will work up into the middle. No, because there's a point somewhere along here that's causing it not to. So let's go to there. Yeah, to there. To there. To there. Let's see, right over there. Yeah. Okay, finish the command. Just use your trim tool. So what we're doing is this is the road reserve, and inside is going to be the use zone. Okay, so this is the road reserve. And we can make those separate boundaries a bit later, so you can fill in those areas a bit later for them to become road reserves. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is, and these tools where you can subtract and fill those areas automatically. Okay, so trim tool, that one to that one, and go vice versa. Here we go. So this is this use zone completed. I've noticed sometimes when these lines are not properly closed, it does cause issues. So just bear that in mind. Sometimes it will. So like this shape, this one, it'll create quite easily. It's just the way that shape was created. Okay, so here I can come right back down to here. That's great. I'm just going to quickly go and try and create these ones as quick as I can. I'll come around once I've done all of this to close them. Yes, I'm just going around these very quickly. So this shape it probably won't find, so we'll see how close we can get it. So this shape it's just not finding. So let's see if it will try and find the shape now. No. Okay, so this one will have to stop halfway and join it a bit later. This one will have to start again. But that's fine, I can join those in a minute. Come down as close as possible. Okay, and then there's this last road over here. So let's start at a good point here. So let's start along here. Likewise with this one, it doesn't want to, so here I'll just start again. If you want to undo a point, you just press backspace and it'll undo a point for you. So let's maybe go back all the way. Okay, that one I'm just going to do again as well. So you can see I'm just hovering over the center line of that bit of line work. So I've pretty much got everything I need in here now. So I'm going to go and first I need to select, for example, here these ones I'll need to merge into one. So those I'll need to go and say merge into one. So they become one feature. Okay. And then I need to go and trim those up and get them nice and clean. So for example, here I'm going to trim this one, that with that, and that with that. Okay, that's closed. Likewise with this, that with that, that with that. We'll need to get rid of some point there in a minute, but that's fine. We can do that, that with that, that with that. Okay, my mistake, that with that. Okay, and then this is all closed. Okay, that's closed. Okay, so the last thing I need to do is just go and get rid of this point there. I don't need that point. Okay, unselect everything. I'm going to use this tool here, select this bit of line work. I want to simplify it, yes. 46, yeah, makes a massive difference. Okay, just trim these very quickly. Trim that with that, that with that. Okay, likewise, just trim these very quickly. The reason why I do this is because it doesn't close the files correctly, so that's why I'm using this trim tool when you get to the end. So I leave a little corner open, then I can then quickly trim it so I know that it's accurate. Okay, I don't go right around with that follow me tool because it does cause issues. Okay, so that with that, that with that, which is correct, and then that with that. Yeah, there we go. Right, so this one with this one with that one. Okay, that's fine. I fixed that corner there, and that one with that one. Okay, and then that one with that one. Okay, great. So I need to double check that this is one feature as well. No, it's not. So this and this needs to be one feature. So we're going to merge those as well. There we go. So here I can go and get rid of that points. So these points I don't need. So that I don't need. That I don't need. That I don't need. Okay. So if you left click or you right click on them, it gives you the points. So you can jump through. So here you've got these. You can jump through all the points and make sure that there's no. Sometimes there are duplicates. Okay, so that's what you just want to avoid. Okay, so but I fixed that by using this simplify tool. So I'm going to simplify the shape. Press OK. Okay, so now if I go and select this feature. Okay, so that's a closed feature. This is a closed feature. So all of these, I'm going to go and select all of these quickly. So I'm just going to use this tool here. I'm just going to simplify all of them quickly. Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. 26, it can't be simplified anymore. So these I'm just making sure. I'm simplifying all of these shapes. Okay, so what's nice is it creates a, and sometimes just double check when it makes this. Door is closing. It'll say there's an error sometimes. So what I go and do sometimes is go and check that shape. So I can use this tool again, right click, and then you can go through the points. So here I just want to make sure that there's no, so that maybe, no, Control Z, that's fine. So I jump through all these points because that's a starting and then finish. That's correct. Okay, so that's a closed loop. Okay, now that I've got all of my shapes that I need, okay, so I've just created a construction layer. So I can now use this construction layer. So I'm going to save this construction layer. Okay, and I'm now going to use this construction layer to make closed polygons. Okay, it's a bit harder to work with polygons from the get-go. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to roster. Okay, because these are vectors already. So I'm going to go to roster. Geometry tools. I'm going to say lines to polygons. So I want to change this user line polygons to a temporary polygon file. So I'm going to say run, close. Okay, now we see we've got some polygons going on. And all that's happened here is just when these two shapes in one here that we can sort out. But by and large, it has kind of created the shapes that I wanted. There's some slight issues here, but those are easy to fix. Okay. All right. So once it creates that temporary file, so here I can go and see where there are errors. So for example, this one I'll probably need to get rid of some points, but otherwise it's created the rest of them pretty well. Okay. Here there's a slight issue as well, but that's just because there's 2 points somewhere that I need to fix as well. Okay, so I'm going to go and edit this file quickly, polygons. Okay, and I'm going to go and edit. So here, for example, I can see where there are errors. And sometimes it'll allow me to delete parts. So I can delete a part, for example, and then I can use this to follow that other shape. So here, because it's giving me points, if I go and use this pick tool, and you can see it'll give me nodes to snap to. And here I want to switch off segments. I just want it to snap to vertices. Okay. So here I'm going to go, I want to snap to vertices only. And here I can technically go and follow that line. Okay, just change. I want to put, this must be right at the bottom, just so you can see the line work above. Okay. And make sure you go back into the layer you're working on. Polygons, my apologies. This one I must close that. This is the one I'm working on. So I'm going to go and say pick this, I'm going to grab here. So here I'm just adding these points back where they need to go, in essence. Okay, so this doesn't take too long, but you can see it's done a lot of the work for you. Sometimes it's going to go and fine tune. Okay, so you're just going to fine tune where these ends are. Okay, so maybe one over here. And you'll see when it's inaccurate. But by and large, that's it. Perfect. So that's done. Now I'm just going to fix this one over here. So let's select this surface quickly. See what's going on here. Sometimes it'll allow me to delete a part. Let's see if there's a part inside that's not delete parts. Okay, so now this is, so here I might want to delete that part. Okay, so all I need to do now is just, it hasn't read the file very well. Okay, here I just need to add some points. Yeah, let's move this point back. So select the point and then drag it to where it needs to go. I'm going to add a point here and snap it onto here. Okay, so you can see that's starting to work well. Add a point, snap it onto there. So here, all I'm doing is just adding some. And you can use this active layer or layer sometimes, so you just need to see sometimes if there's lots of layers on each other, you just have to use a different. So here, a vertex for all layers or just current layer. So if I select current layer, you'll see it will only work on the current layer that I've got selected. But that's it. I'm happy with that shape. You can go and simplify the shape again, for example, but that's fine. Okay, so if I want to go and simplify the shape, it'll simplify the shape. But in essence, my polygons are done. So here you can see I've got all the different use zones that I want to work with. Okay, and they're all looking good. They're all closed. There's nothing wrong. So the next thing I need to do is I need to make this a permanent layer now. Okay, so once it's established, once you can make it permanent, so you're going to say make permanent. Here you're going to save it as an ISRI shapefile. And here you're going to go and save it where you want to work. So I'm going to say new use. So I'm just going to say use zones. Use zone underscore new. Okay. I'm going to press OK. Yes, the layer, it'll take a couple seconds. Okay, I see it's deleted some of them, so we might have to see why it's done that. Okay, so here I'm just going to go to switch off this road for the time being. Okay, so something has gone wrong with some of those use zones, so I might have to reintroduce those. So let me reintroduce those very quickly. So here, oh yeah, sorry, what I forgot to do is I forgot to save the edits. So what you need to do is you need to save the edits before you save it. Okay, so that was my mistake. So let's go back into edits. So you should have saved the edits before you try to make it a permanent file because it lost the last stuff that I tried to create. Okay, so don't worry because I can digitize this very quickly because I've got this line work already. Oh, let me just undo. pencil. I'm going to switch off this follow tool, and now it will digitize. Now it will follow it correctly. Okay. If you make a mistake like I've done there, it's very easy. You can go back and fix it. Okay, that's fine. It will give it an automatic number. Just use this tool over here. I'm going to drag this to there. And then I'll need to fix this one from there to there. Perfect. Okay. And here I'll just need to make a new shape very quickly. So a new shape. I'm going to start over here. Click there. Click there. So here we can maybe increase this to maybe 10 meters. So it's just how it will snap to the closest endpoint. So it's just how quick and accurate it snaps. So that's actually working quite quickly. So you just want to find all the nodes very quickly. So I've just increased the tolerance a bit. And it's snapping a lot quicker. There we go. All right, super. Okay, so now we've got all our shapes. Just remember, save. We need to save our edits now, and you can finish editing. So now in a nutshell, we've got a series of use zones that we've established, and it's a shapefile. Okay, here I can go and say properties. I want to rename this to reflect the name of the shapefile, for example. So I'm just going to say use zones. So in the project, you can give this a nice use zone. Okay. Right. So once we've established our use zones, now we need to go and assign attributes to each one of these use zones, for example. Okay. So I'm going to go back and edit, and I'm going to go and open up my table view now. So I'm going to open up a table view. Okay. Some of these don't have a number, so here I can use this tool very quickly and sort out the number issue that I have. So let's make this, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this will be 12, and this will be 13. Okay. Right, and now if I select this, you'll see that whatever shape I select here, one numbering I select, it will select those objects. Okay. Right, so the first thing I need to do is I need to create a new field. So this field is going to start giving me the area. So I'm going to call this area. Okay, this will be a decimal number, a whole number, a decimal number. It will be a decimal number. Okay, precision 3, that's fine. I can make this 2 for this example. Length, that's fine. Keep it the same. That's great. And then I'll make one more column as well. One new field. I'm going to call this use. Okay, this will be text string, and I'll make this length 20. So it can take 20 characters. Press OK. All right. So once I've done that, I can now, if I select all of these objects, I want all of these objects, for example, to be residential. I need a residential use zone for them. Okay, so I'm going to go and select those very quickly. I'm just finding my use zone PDF. Okay, architectural hardware essay. So I'm just getting this very quickly so we can get all the correct use zones. So you can go to the Tshwane Town Planning Scheme, get the use zones that I'm looking for. Okay, I'm just going to go and find those very quickly. Okay, there we go, found them. Okay, so I'm going to make these outer ones residential. So if I go to so all the ones that are selected very quickly, I can go and change them very quickly to residential 1. Sure. 1. Okay, copy and paste this text, Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. Okay. All right, there's also a formula that you can use. You can drive a formula, but this I find works well. So I'm going to say update all. Okay, great. Then these these are going to be, so these ones, for example, are going to be business zone. So these are going to change to business zone 2, for example, business 2. Or I'm going to make this business 1 and these outer ones business 2. So I'm going to select those quickly, go back to my table, and those are going to be business 1. Leave a space, grab all those, Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. Okay, so all the blue ones are the ones that are currently selected. Okay, now I'm going to go and select the outs. Those will be business zone. So those I'm going to go and say edit again, edit table. Those will be business zone 2. Okay, select all those. Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we've got some shapes in here that don't belong in here, so that we can delete. Delete that, and I'll see this one also was a dud somewhere, and delete that. Okay, all right. So those did, yeah, they didn't come in as part of the feature, so there was an issue there how they've come in. Okay, so here I'm going to quickly go and change this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that'll be 10, 11, 12. Okay, so I've got 12 shapes. Okay. Okay, the next thing I want to do very quickly is I just want to complete the area information. So I'm going to use an equation. So, okay, so for my area, I'm going to go and use an equation. Okay, why aren't you giving me the equation? Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm going to use the equation tool for area. Just select away. Let's go back here again. Oh, my mistake. You're going to use this tool here. So field calculator. So I'm going to say update existing field. I'm going to find my area field, and then I want to go and find geometry. And here I want to use this $S. I'm going to press OK. All right. So what it does is when I press OK, you'll see that it will fill in all the areas for each one of those. So it will calculate the area for each one of those zones automatically. So once you've done that calculation, it's done. Do this right at the end. Okay. Okay, great. So I'm going to save everything I've done. I'm going to save my edits and finish editing. So what this allows me to do now is if I go and select any of these, you'll start seeing it's going to give me the use zone it belongs to. So each one I select, it's going to give me a use zone. Okay, and I'm also going to just change the properties of this very quickly. Symbology, I just want to change this to like a light gray, just to make it more readable. That will work for now. Press apply. Okay, and I can also, the stroke color, I'll leave this at 0.3, for example, 0.3. Press apply. Okay, great. Okay, so I've got a temporary use zone drawing that I can get rid of now because I've created everything I need. Remove layer. Okay, so now I've got my use zones in play. Now the next thing I need to do is I need to add some labels to give me the area information, and I need to color code the use zones. Okay. So how we do that? So the first thing I want to do in use zones, I want to go and start adding some filters, some calculations. So if I go to symbology and I pull down and I say rule based. Okay, so the first rule will be called residential 1. Residential 1. Okay, now you need to set the calculation. So you need to tell it what it needs to do. So I'm going to say it needs to take the use must equal to, and because I've got the use already here, I can go and find residential 1. Okay, and when it tells you that it will work, it says the calculation will be a success. If it doesn't, it'll say calculation won't work. So I'm going to press OK. And for this full color, for example, for this, I want to change the color. So for residential 1, I'm going to use like a very light, almost yellow. So let's pull this back to yellow. That's fine. Okay. And the outline, that's fine. I want a solid. The stroke, I want a solid black as well. That's fine. Leave that as is. Press OK, press apply. Okay. So everything now that is residential will show up as residential. Okay, now I need to create a new one. I'm going to copy, paste this, business 2, make this business 1 for the time being. Same story, you're going to go and find your field. I'm going to use use zone. Okay, use is equal to, and then here add unique. So I'm going to say business 1, and you see the command will work. So I'm happy with this green color, so just scroll down over here a bit, and here this color I'm just going to tone down a fraction. So maybe make it a bit lighter, press OK, press apply. Press OK, apply. Okay, so there's my business zone, use business zone 1. You need to add another one. Okay, this will be business zone 2. Okay, it's likewise, same formula, you're just using your fields and paths. Okay, fields, use equals to, just remember the code, equals to unique business 2. There we go, everything works fine. This color I will make. What I do, which works well, you can add colors to this palette so you know what you've been using and what kind of palette you want to work with. Okay, so this I might make a very dullish red. About that, press OK, press apply. Okay, this might not show in my use zone that well, so let's grab a nice blue. So let's grab a bluish gray like that. Yeah, press OK. Okay, press apply. Okay, apply. Okay, great. So now I've color coded my use zones. I've used the rule to color code my use zones correctly. The last thing I need to do now is add in a label of my, so I bring back my study area in the background so you can see that's my study area. Here are my use zones that I'm working with, and this will start looking good on my map. So if I bring this in as well, so here's the study area. I can switch off. I can leave it on or off. That's totally up to you. But for now, I'm just showing you more or less how I'm starting to plan this area. Okay, so information-wise, my use zones, if I use this tool, it'll tell me what it is, business 2. Okay, great. The last thing I need to do is just add some labels. So in use zone, I'm going to go and say label. So properties, I'm going to add a label. So now it asks you what you want to label. So I'm going to say single label, and I wanted to label the area. Okay, and I want to change the formatting of the text, for example. So here, you just, if it's numbers, you're going to say round off to 2 decimal places, for example, press apply, and you see it drops them in already. Okay, sometimes you'll have objects. Let me just see what it looks like to start with. I'll come back and fix it. You see, you got objects within objects. So you want that, you want Qgis to prevent it from doing that. So you're going to go to properties again, and here you're going to go to placement. Okay, and I'm going to say free, press apply, and now you'll see it'll try and kind of work it out best. That's the best option I found. Okay, now one last thing I want to do is I want to add a formula because I want to see this in meters square. So I'm going to add a formula. So I'm going to say area. I'm going to give it a gap. So I'm adding, I call it a single concentration. Okay, so I'm going to pull this back. Doesn't matter. Here I'm going to use this symbol. I'm going to use M. I'm going to go keep down Alt 178, and then that symbol there. And you can see what the end result is, which is what I want. Press apply, press apply, press OK. So now I've got the use zones color coded, and I've got all the areas as well. Okay, great. So once you've reached this point, the next thing you'll need to do is go and establish, I want a layout, so call this A1. I'm going to set up a layout very quickly, and I'm going to drop the map in very quickly. So here I'm going to go and grab my map, drag and drop it. And don't worry about setting up the sheet too much, because this will give me a good idea. I want to change the scale of this map to 3000. Right click on the page itself, page properties, make sure that that's A1. Okay, so here you can drag and drop this again to the right size, center it, and I can center it that way again. That's fine. Okay, I'm going to change this to 3 meters, this map scale 3 meters. Perfect. And then what I might do is I'll adjust the corners. You might have to reset this. I'm just going to do that for now and change the scale back to 3 meters. 3 meters. Enter. Okay. Then you can move your map inside. So use this tool to move your map more or less where you want it. So that's going to be my map for now. That's my whole study area. Perfect. I've got the highway, but it's a nice context. Okay, great. Okay. Okay, so you can zoom in and out. Okay, so now that I've got my map kind of set up, you see my text is reading quite well. Okay, now this is very cool. I can introduce a scale bar. So I'm going to introduce a scale bar over here. I want 3. How many levels of the scale bar do you want? So I want 3 levels, maybe 4 levels of the scale bar, and I can move this where I want it. So I'm going to put my scale bar at the bottom here, in line with that. There's my scale bar. So I'm making a map now. So there's my scale bar. I'm going to bring in a north point. So bring in a north point. So I want a north point over here. Move this around. So let's just get this more or less. And you get different ones that you can use, but I mean for this exercise, that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to put that in there. Okay, that's my north point, and then I just need a legend. So legend. So what it does is it creates a legend of everything in the view. But for example, I don't want some of these. I don't want all of them to show, for example. So what I'll do is I'm going to pull this where I want it. I'm going to go in here, automatic. I'm going to switch this off because I don't want to automatically update, and I want to remove that from this. I want to remove that. The study area I'll leave in because that's important. Study area, road temporary I don't need. Buildings I'll switch on. Actually, buildings I don't need for the time being. I don't need buildings, so that's the only information I want now in my. So that I can put down there. So here I've got a whole map of. I've got my scale bar, and here I can just give this a heading. So here I'm just going to use a quick text block. Text block over here. I'm going to put in a big text block, and I'm going to call this. Double click the text. Here you can tell it study my new study area. Okay. So you just edit it in here. And just get rid of that all caps lock. Okay. My new study area. Okay, great. All you need to do now is you just need to change the size of the font to work for this, and I'm going to make that quite high. So position of text. So here you can go and play with the height of the text. So this I'm going to make maybe 10 mil. Make this 30. Oh no, sorry, let's make that 3. I just want to find the font size itself. I might have to go and set up a font for this. Appearance. There, font size and points. So they're going to change this to 30. Okay, let's just go and see. So maybe I can make that a bit bigger. So here I'm going to go, that's great, that's what it looks like. I'm going to click this here, I'm going to change this to 50. That works well. Okay. Now you can change it to center, middle. So now you can move this where you want it. My new study area. You can put this on the one side. Oh, I'm just going to put this in the middle here for now. Okay. So that's what I want you to do. So here I've got my study area. This is the red area highlighted. Okay, then I've got my new proposed roads, or my road network, and what is nice, all my symbology works well here. With a north point, and I've got a scale bar. Okay, great. That's all I wanted to do. I'm going to save this. That's fine. I'm going to save it part of the project. I can close this view now. So in QGIS, I'm just going to go and file. I'm going to save this. I'm going to go project, save as. I'm going to make this my new land use, save. Yes, yes, land use, save, overwrite. Thank you. Hope this helped.